Talkville is brought to you by NHTSA.
Did you know that driving under the influence of marijuana is illegal? Yeah, you should. It is. Driving high could get you a DUI. And if you're wondering if law enforcement can tell when you're driving high, well, everyone else in your life can. Your friends can tell, your coworkers can tell, even your parents can tell. So what makes you think law enforcement can't tell? They can. If you feel different, you drive different. Drive high, get a DUI. Paid for by NHTSA. Welcome back to Talkville, the ultimate Smallville rewatch podcast. Tom Welling's here. Ryan's here. Yep. It's the second last episode, Quest. We had a lot of things going on. The writer's strike, this, that, and the other. It was, almost the last episode for Lex and Lana, and Lionel's gone, and the creators were leaving, and it was just like everything's coming to a head right now. And
actually, almost the last episode for Clark too. I mean, it was a negotiation year.
Yeah, so you never know what could have happened. But we want to say thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting this podcast. Without you, we couldn't do it. Patreon.com/Talkville. If you want to see this show continue, which we're hoping, we rely on you guys. So go to Patreon, support the show. Thank you also if you want to go to my Instagram, at the Michael Rosenbaum, my link tree. There's Cons, there's Cameo. Tom Welling's on Cameo as well. We're going on a Smallville cruise next year. Get tickets. It's going to be the best thing ever. Smallville cruise. Come on, it's what you've been waiting for. Now, after all these seasons of Talkville, it's like it's time. You got to hop on board. The Inside of You online store has a ton of Smallville scripts and things signed and much more, and the talkvillepodcast.com, much more. So there's all that. And you know what's going on. If you want to call in for future episodes, get on the ball, and all the, follow us at Talkville Pod, at Talkville Podcast, write a review, tell your friends, and of course, promoting my show Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum. There's a lot, believe it or not, there's a lot of people who watch Smallville and watch this podcast Talkville, but they don't listen to my podcast Inside of You. And I think, Tom, if you could tell anybody out there.
I think the best thing I can say is I listen to it and I am a patron member.
There you go.
So, I mean, I do listen to it. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I thank you for what you do. And we're not just saying that because it sounds good. I mean, that's the truth. You've never asked me to say that, so I'm saying it now. I mean,
thanks, dude.
I like the way you do what you do, and it's informative, and it helps me.
Thanks. It helps me. And if you think it's just another podcast, it's not. And especially if you like sci-fi, and I interview a lot of people in the sci-fi community, and it's not just actor talk. It's like how we face adversity, how we get through troubled times, and much more. And I think you'll really like it. So all I ask you is if you could please subscribe and have a listen and keep listening and support the podcast Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum. I would appreciate it. Without further ado, let's get into season 7, episode 19, Quest. Episode overview here. The title was Quest, aired May 8th, 2008. Director Ken Biller. I like Ken a lot. Writer Holly Harold, liked her. Guest stars Robert Picardo, awesome guy, as Edward Teague. Donnelly Rhodes as Malash. Air Cohen as Regan Matthews. Ari Cohen, and probably
Milash.
Milash? Oh, yes, it's Milash.
But yes, Donnelly Rhodes is Milash.
Yeah, he did a great job. Ari Cohen did a great job. Robert did a great job. Synopsis: when a mysterious assailant carves a Kryptonian symbol into Lex, Clark heads north, looking for answers, and meets the last surviving member of Veritas.
Oh, yeah.
Shit's about to go down. Milash, the antiquities expert, marvels at Lex's cryptograph in the glow of the Luthor office fireplace. Milash tells him it has no value since he's not allowed to examine it back at his shop, and Lex geeks him out. Suddenly, Lex is attacked by a tall dude with a knife. He overpowers Lex, rips open his shirt, and etches a symbol into Lex's bare, sweaty, heaving chest.
Did anybody else see a callback to the pilot where Lex was with Heike, but he loses this time again?
No.
Yeah, that's what I saw. It was the same setup, except Lex was on the other side.
Whoa.
It's a sword fight in the
The
office.
sword fight. When he fights the guy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't notice
I'm
that.
telling you, I'm. There's a part of this where like I think they thought that
Comes full
this
circle.
episode and the next episode was going to be the end of it all.
Yeah. That's cool.
Wow. Stitched up in a room at Smallville Medical, Lex tells his new assistant fella, Reagan, that he knows the attacker was the bank manager in Zurich. He checks out the scars in a mirror and realizes that the guy's after the cryptograph. Late that night, Jimmy sneaks into Chloe's apartment and confesses that he was at the hospital and snuck some photos of Lex's symbol carvings. Color Chloe intrigued. Yeah, he's getting in with the wrong... He's going to start getting in with the wrong people. I mean,
Well, this is what's nice. I mean, this is kind of a nice bit for Jimmy. Is he's taking initiative with his own career, and he's
grown up.
He's grown up. He's sneaking around. He's trying some stuff out, and it works out for him in the end. But yeah,
He learned a lot from being James Bond.
he did.
Yeah, that episode really was impactful. Back at Smallville Medical, Chloe shows Clark the pictures. He identifies one symbol as meaning traveler and the other as savior. They can't quite put the pieces together yet, and when they barge into Lex's room, he is gone. And inside the antique shop, Milosh is in awe of the cryptograph as he shows it to Alexa's security guards. Stabby McStabberson busts in. Offs the guards, takes aim at Milosh, but is capped in the back by none other than Lex Luthor himself. I like that. You know, what I noticed, and I hadn't seen these episodes, is there's something really... There's just a dark presence, like with Lex. There's no smile. There's no nothing. It's just ambiguity and just, this is what I did, and I'm doing it like it's nothing.
Yeah.
And I like it. It was just a step up.
What I got was there was a greater purpose than he'd ever had before.
Yeah.
Before it was like, he was like, I got to find stuff out and I don't know what it is.
Now it's nothing's
in
getting in
this-
my way.
Yeah.
It's like
It's like pinpoint laser focus. Go ahead, Ryan.
At the Foundation, Clark and Chloe further analyze the carvings. Clark discovers that a third symbol forms where the other two overlap, which means sanctuary, and could refer to a meeting place. The patron saint of travel is St. Christopher, so they pinpoint St. Christopher's Cathedral in Montreal as the location. Chloe maps it on her Sprint phone and sends Clark on his merry way.
I do remember when I was carved up that it was an attachment. It was a chest piece.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah, so it's not my chest.
No.
It was part of and they made it kind of flat. It's not that flat, but like it's really cool what they did. But they had to put that on me, and I know Tom, you had to do it to you too.
listen, that kind of stuff, it looked great, but I know that takes 2 to 4 hours. So I wonder if the AD said to you at wrap the night before, by the way, Michael, not only do we need you at 5:30 in the morning, we need you at 3:30.
You know what they should have done?
Because we got to
is
shave
done it
your head
ahead of
and put this
time.
on you.
They should have done it ahead of time and then attached it to me. But it had to be.
They weren't actually cutting into it, or was it like an extra piece that had blood underneath, or was it just like a pre-cut and then they would
Pre-cut, and they would put the
I can see
blood
that.
and all that stuff in it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and I have a picture somewhere of that in my chest. I think I posted it years ago. That symbol.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's somewhere.
Oh, the Saint Christopher. I don't know if you guys remember. Saint Christopher was the necklace that Lex gave Kara, and in that fracture episode when she was the waitress.
Oh yeah.
So Saint Christopher, the patron saint of travel, has been the theme the last few episodes.
Okay.
There you go. Anyway, in Lex's car, Milosh explains that the cryptograph was designed by renowned German watchmaker Dietrich Brauer, who had been commissioned to make a magnificent clock before suddenly disappearing during World War II. The only existing sketch he drew matches the cryptograph exactly, and the piece was lost for decades before it appeared as a donation to St. Christopher's Cathedral from a wealthy philanthropist named Dr. Swan.
Mic drop, I think.
I don't know. A lot of new information.
Is that actor still alive? Is he still with us?
Oh, he's not alive. He's been dead since 2018. But first credit, he was in Butch Cassidy.
Wow.
A character called Macon.
I have to watch it again.
I don't know. That's
Robert Redford, Paul Newman. You know, I remember
cool.
working with him, and he was a sweet, sweet man.
He knew what he was doing.
Yeah, I remember there was some tough dialogue, and it wasn't always easy getting through it. And but he was very convincing, and I know he was easy to work with, and he almost seemed like he was in character. He would just kind of smile at me while I was talking or anything. He'd go, okay, very good. Just kind of in his own world, and very nice, but but I don't think he was Russian.
No, he was Canadian.
He's Canadian, yeah, but he did a good job.
Yeah.
I mean, I wonder if he had Russian ancestry or whatever.
Maybe.
Clark arrives at the cathedral and finds Kryptonian symbols in the basin that reads, "Guest arrived beneath the surface." He lifts it up and finds more damn symbols. Some Obi-Wan looking mother effer appears behind him and reveals himself to be Edward Teague.
All right, so I have an issue with this scene. I really do.
Yeah.
From a director's standpoint. Clark walks all the way in, up to the altar, takes in what he's seeing, turns around and sees a guy who, as far as we know, just walked through the door. Doesn't seem like he's been there. I would have, I'm going on a limb here, have Clark go up, look around, not understand, walk back to where Teague comes in, hear a voice from the altar, he turns around, Teague's there.
100%. He should have been the most, it gives him power.
He's been there.
Yeah.
Well, not
otherwise it looks like he just walked in the door.
Yeah, I agree with you. And you know what else it is? You're up on the altar or whatever, and he's looking down, so it gives him no power.
High power, low power.
He's supposed to, so he should have the upper hand, at least in the beginning, like,
Well, he does say that he's in service and take a knee first.
Doesn't matter. From a visual perspective,
it just felt a little off.
He should not have lower status.
I agree with you.
I know he's the pauper.
It seemed off, and I didn't know why, but you that made sense.
Yeah, maybe it would have been more. It would have been more dynamic, had he been in the power position and then took a knee.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's like a little bit of a switch.
Yeah. It's almost like, oh, I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
Like power. No, I'm actually serving you. Also, Jerry Seinfeld left a message, and he said, "Where is everybody at this church? Where are the patrons? There's nobody here. These two people are having some gothic conversation about God knows what. Teague explains that he went into hiding after his wife and son died, but they were down to sacrifice themselves for the traveler. His tone shifts as he says Veritas harms Lex to protect the traveler. He admonishes Clark for not taking care of that shiz sooner, echoing Lana's concern from Wrath, unveiling kryptonite in his staff tip, and Clark collapses.
That was a twist.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
That was a turn.
I didn't expect it.
Yeah. Evil. Dark stuff.
On the private jet, Milosh tinkers with the cryptograph while Lex laments his father's fixation with truth, failing to see the irony. He thinks the cryptograph will provide the answer.
And then at the Foundation, Chloe calls Clark to warn him that Lex is en route to Montreal. In full conspiracy theorist mode, Jimmy barges in with more photos from the cave that links the carving on Lex's chest to an ancient sacrificial practice.
By the way, when you look at those pictures and stuff, especially later on in the monitor with Clark and Chloe, it's not me. It's so not me. It's like some other actor.
I didn't notice.
I did. It's like his face. You could see the side of his face, and it's not even close to me. I'm like, guys, maybe show that image once, not 3 or 4 times, so I could keep looking at not me.
Well, the flip side is, Michael, would you like to fly to Los Angeles to Vancouver to shoot some inserts?
No. But you had me in the hospital. All you had to do was shoot pictures there. You jerks. Go ahead, Ryan.
Smash cut to Clark strapped to an altar surrounded by liquid kryptonite. Liquid night? Teague explains that Clark can be as much a destroyer as a savior, which is why Jor-El sent the device that Lex is now way too close to getting. Teague starts performing a Kryptonian ritual he read in a book by tearing open Clark's shirt and carving symbols into his chiseled, glistening pecs. Pecs.
Lex arrives at the cathedral and locates a big old clock. He plugs in his cryptograph. It plays a little jingle jangle. But jingle, money don't jingle.
By the way, this was actually cool. The way the way they did
This was awesome.
in insert, like it really had my attention.
The
You had my
CGI into the
attention.
clock,
Yeah.
The music was very important.
epic. It looked great. Then pops out a 5-sided trinket. Teague appears, impressed that Lex has risen to become the Traveler's adversary. Lex shows off his neat scar and asks, "What the F, bro?" Teague says that the identity of the Traveler is no longer relevant, and they start, well, fencing.
As one does.
Yes.
So I just wanted to ask one question. In the history of Smallville, has Clark ever shown that he's bad for humanity? Or is this
Yes.
or is this a projection by Lex because he thinks he would do something with Clark's powers that Clark wouldn't do?
Well, when you
Because
become
Clark's really only done good things for other
but when
people.
you're taken over by someone or red kryptonite or whatever it
So
is,
he's protecting Clark.
like you
from
could
himself.
become dangerous. So think about it. Like Lex isn't wrong. Clark Kent is dangerous because he has all these weaknesses. Not many, but he has kryptonite, which obviously just kills him. But the red kryptonite turns him into a real jerk. And who knows what he could do? Who knows where he could end up? Hurting
Who knows
people,
what bar
killing
he's
people.
gonna go into?
Yeah, so there's like, it's not a slam dunk that you're the savior, that you're going to be this great. In fact, there are a lot of problems that come with it, I think.
Huh.
Is Lex the hero of the story?
If Lex takes down Clark, I don't know, man.
I think one thing that you just said that tweaked my mind is this is Lex taking Clark down. It's not him trying to
Fulfill a destiny or control, yeah.
like Lionel wanted to do.
Yeah.
Right, I don't want to control you. I want to end you.
It's a different.
I want to end you, bro. Go ahead.
Meanwhile, Chloe finds Clark at the altar and smashes it with a giant cross, spilling crypto juice all over the floor. She says she got there in Oliver's jet, so that's covered. Clark speeds to the fencing battle and...
Did you notice how quickly the kryptonite juice kind of just goes away? Like it shows like the last bit of it going... Floop.
It's not even gooey. It's
It just was like,
liquid.
too much for CGI. Let's move on.
I mean, there's no way. Tom
And
remembers what
also,
was the
shout
narrative.
out to Justin Hartley. I'm glad that the Green Arrow didn't feel like this was something to pay attention to.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
Clark speeds to the fencing battle and slow-mo punches Lex's sword before he slays Teague. Clark also smashes the clock and dips. Baffled, Lex picks up his trinket as a nun and priest finally emerge to find out what the hell's going on. Yeah. And then back on the jet, Lex is headed for Scotland since he's identified the clock jingle as the Scottish folk song Burks of St. Kilda, which he learned on piano as a child.
so I really like the way you did this, Mike, because the way you responded to a guy who's never probably ever spoken to you, and he's reading a book, and when he turns the pages, he turns like 3 pages at a time. Did you notice that? But the way that this character is able to change basically your flight path, if you think about it. I thought
Literally.
it was very interesting.
Yeah, he was really smart. It was like,
And I was like, whoa, that's where the castle came from. Like it all
that was cool.
that was cool.
It was cool. It was like seeing the picture of it on the shores of Kilda or whatever. It was
Yeah.
kind of neat.
In a big book, Reagan confirms that the island of St. Kilda is now a bird sanctuary since the castle that once stood there was hauled back to the U.S. stone by stone. It dawns on Lex that the secret is in his own manor. Also, Milash was flown back to Metropolis, so that's covered. Scotland was probably out of budget, but would have been cool to film at, I thought.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you can't... Can you fake a cliff in Vancouver for a cliff in a Scottish archipelago?
Well, there's a lot of cliffs in the States that you could probably
No,
sort of
I
cheat.
think that scene in the plane solved that location issue.
Yeah.
We don't need to go to Scotland. We can go
There's
back
a lot
to
of that.
Smallville.
Yeah.
He's bleeding. Let's take him to Smallville Medical.
Chloe sneaks into her apartment to find Jimmy with champagne and candles since he just sold his first article. Coincidentally, it's about the Kawachi Cave story of Nama and Sagith in the battle of good versus evil. He shows her a photo of one more symbol indicating the resolution of conflict, which ends in a final battle. Chloe shows Clark the image in the Baron, and they rehash the events of Montreal, whatever. Chloe says Lex won't hesitate to destroy Clark one day, and one day he's going to have to play God and kill the dude. Researchers swarm Luthor Manor, scanning the walls for clues. Lex plinks out the song on the piano and recites the lyrics. On the shores of St. Kilda, Berks away, Berks, what?
Sway.
Berks sway in the wind from the left to the right again. He's got it. The castle faced south, not west. Above the heart of home shines the North Star. He matches the trinket symbol to that above the fireplace and smashes it open. I thought that was really cool, the smashing of it open.
Yeah.
That wasn't just easy,
No.
and
It was belabored, and it was
what I don't like is all of a sudden the next episode it's fixed.
Well,
Maybe they just fixed
he's
it.
got a lot of employees.
Of course he would fix it.
I mean, it looked perfect. Revealing a burlap pouch. Inside the pouch is a many-sided orb with a slot for the trinket. Lex plugs it in. The orb floats away from him and projects a map of Earth showing a direct path to the Arctic. I also like that I'm not in awe of everything anymore. Like, nothing shocks me. Like, it's glowing, and part of my thinking was I should be like, oh my God. But it was just like, I expect anything to happen at this point.
What I equated it to is people that I've known in my life who have had issues, especially physical, let's make it physical issues. Like, what's wrong with me? Why is my body feeling? And they get a diagnosis and they go, this is the issue and this is how you solve it. That's what I see Lex doing. He's on the solve now.
Yeah.
He's not out there going, what's happening? What's happening? He's going, now I know what it is. I just need to go find it. Indiana Jones. I know where it is. I'm going to go find it.
Yeah. Mission, a man on a mission. Closing thoughts. The answers were right in front of us all along. Apparently, is this satisfying or too convenient? I think it's quite satisfying. Really? I think it works. I think, because, and maybe that's why you go to Montreal, you show pictures of Scotland, of the castle, and all along he's searching away from everything when it's right under his nose back home in his so-called manor. But
why did my dad ship this castle from Scotland?
Because normally if you tell people, hey, we're going on a scavenger hunt, they don't go, well, let's just start right here and look. They start moving and looking.
Yeah. No.
They don't,
I wonder if there's any old X-raying that Clark did of that room that doesn't show it.
Well, put it this way.
Well, he wouldn't know about the trinket.
No, he wouldn't know about the trinket. But if you're playing hide and go seek, most people want to get as far away as possible. And you're thinking those people are probably, they're going to show me some clever. But if there was a crate right in front of the person who is closing their eyes and counting, I'd get in that crate. Because most of them wouldn't look right there, because who would do that?
Yeah.
Right. So the analogy being, this key's right above his fireplace. The signs are all there and no one would suspect it. So I think yes. All the chest carvings too heavy-handed or good escalation to provide stakes? I think it's great. I think it was pretty cool. Ryan?
I mean, yeah, I just wanted to pose the question. I think, yeah.
You wanted to pose it because you thought it was too much.
No, I didn't think. No, it's interesting. Like it added like a
horror aspect.
Like a horror aspect, which, it gives it like, I liked it.
Yeah.
This episode did feel on the high side of creepy for Smallville, like in a good way.
Yeah. I mean, you had the creepy guy coming in and carving in Lex's chest. You had the shootout where he kills those guys. You had the kryptonite and stuff, you getting carved up. So there's a lot of cool, weird stuff. Teague's zealotry provides dark insight into Clark's role through the human agenda. What does it say about how humans interpret godlike figures? For example, Clark rejecting worship in a church is an interesting parallel for what Jesus might actually say about churches.
I thought that's what I thought. That is my personal opinion on what's going on. Because I don't think Jesus would look at a church and go, that's about right. I think he would probably like reject it. And I think like Clark is sort of similar, like rejecting.
Yeah.
I
don't see Jesus being like, I'm here to tell you something. Hold on a second. Let's go over to that building and do this. We need that building for that.
But I think like Clark's like rejecting Teague's advances, like is, to me, I don't know if this is really like.
I could go down a slippery slope with this. I mean, I think churches are beautiful. I think they're great. I visit them when I travel because there is a sense of solace that you get when you walk into them. And it's a gathering spot for people's like-minded beliefs. And I think that's beautiful.
Yeah. But why do they have to be so, they're not warm and inviting. They're on the contrary. They're
a lot
kind
of this,
of
like
cold
the old churches like this too. Yeah.
Why can't you make church comfortable and like, hey, we're gonna go be comfortable while we talk to God?
What do you want? Pillow couches?
Just like beanbags and like.
It's actually
couches.
one of the safest.
Do we have a heater in this
world.
place? So interesting things to note. While waiting for Jimmy, Chloe was reading The Tipping Point: How Little Things Can Make a Big Difference by Malcolm Gladwell.
I haven't read it. Have you guys read it?
No, have you?
No, it's like one of those popular.
I know Gladwell.
Yeah. People know Gladwell.
Good stuff.
Burks of St. Kilda doesn't exist, but the melody matches the real tune to the bonny banks of Loch Lomond.
Yep.
On the bonny banks of Loch Lomond.
Or could it? Because Tom did his own research and he Shazammed the song and it came up with.
Did you do that?
No, this is real.
I did it.
On the same.
No. What's the title of the song?
The title of that song is Copy His Shadow by someone named
Which is
Carcade.
even cooler.
Carcade with K's.
Dude, it goes dark, but it uses the same
But if you
tones.
Shazam the song, that's what happens.
Jeez. St. Kilda does exist and is an archipelago, 217 miles northwest of Glasgow. It's home to the highest sea cliffs in the UK on the island Herta and reports no permanent population.
I thought that was neat.
That is neat. 217 miles north of Glasgow.
Northwest, yeah, it's on like islands, like because Glasgow's like on the island. It's like off the coast. When
Chloe maps Clark to Montreal, the GPS shows the cathedral known as Christ Church Cathedral in real life as being 1558.33 miles from their location at 618 3rd Street Metropolis. The closest approximate real city we could find is the town of Viola, Kansas, just outside of Wichita, which is 1,558 miles on the nose away from the cathedral. There is a 618 3rd Street in Kansas, and that's just where the Andersons live. Sharon makes a dynamite quiche. That's some good research.
They did the close up on the thing. I just wanted to find out what is going to be exactly this distance from the church, and I started with Wichita because they're like they probably went close to Kansas, and it's not exactly Wichita. So there you go.
Huh.
Wow.
Still satisfying.
Yeah, I wonder where they came up with that number though. Maybe that was it. Maybe that was the reason I thought.
Those writers don't mess around, bro.
They really don't.
All right, it's time for your favorite thing.
Maybe they called the FBI,
FBI, FBI. Talkville is brought to you by AG1. I cannot live without AG1. Tom, I know you can't either. And there's a lot of people around the country, around the world that just love AG1. It's just, if you want to get into a healthy routine, AG1 is exactly what you've been waiting for. There's so many things that I need to change, but I know that if I take my AG1, which has so many vitamins and minerals, probiotics, prebiotics, it helps with my gut protection and all that stuff. I feel better. I feel clearer. I have more energy. Tom, I know you feel the same.
Yeah, especially when it comes to traveling. If I were to have to pack a bottle of vitamins that would have the same amount that this would have, it would take up your whole carry-on. But you can take these little packs with you and you're good to go. Just drop it in water, shake it up, take it down.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You just have a glass of water, you mix it in, you stir it, you drink it, and you're like, I accomplished something for the day. That's what AG1 is about. AG1 is the daily health drink that combines your multivitamin, pre and probiotic superfoods, and antioxidants into one simple green scoop. It's one of the easiest things you can do to support your body every day. And there's so many benefits from it. At least, I feel so many pleasant things that I wasn't feeling before. And I didn't notice a difference until I stopped for a few days because I forgot my travel packs. And that's when I really noticed the lack of AG1 and how important it is for me. Look, heading into the holidays, it could be hard to maintain a balanced diet and give your body the nutrients it needs. AG1 Next Gen contains more vitamins and minerals than ever before and is clinically shown to fill common nutrient gaps.
As we approach the new year, it's never too early to take control of your health.
AG1 is one of the easiest daily health habits that you can start even before the new year. And if you want to get really crazy, try AGZ. It's for nighttime. Yes, take AG1 in the morning, wake up, feel better, And then AGZ at night, it's just the perfect match. You have to try this stuff.
AG1 has their best offer ever.
If you head to drinkag1.com/talkville, you'll get a welcome kit, a morning person hat. I want to see that on you, Tom. A bottle of vitamin D3 plus K2, a AG1 flavor sampler, and you'll get to try their new sleep supplement AGZ for free, which has been a game changer for my nightly routine. That's drinkag1.com/talkville for $126 in free gifts for new subscribers. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. The holidays are a time of traditions. Some people have many in their family and some have none or are just beginning their own. Now is the time to reflect on what they mean to you or to rewrite those traditions and make your own. Incorporating therapy into your holiday can help ensure you take time for yourself during what can be a very joyful but sometimes hectic and lonely time of the year. Consider trying BetterHelp online therapy in December as a way to close the year with clarity rather than chaos. With over 30,000 therapists worldwide, BetterHelp is one of the leading online therapy platforms, having served over 5 million people globally, and it works. With an average rating of 4.9 out of 5 for a live session based on over 1.7 million client reviews. This December, start a new tradition by taking care of you. Our listeners get 10% off at betterhelp.com/talkville. That's betterhelp.com/talkville. Look at the good-looking man.
Got a lot of light in here. I don't think I can help it. I'm in a very bright apartment. It snowed in Toronto last night, if you're interested.
Are you still upset about the Blue Jays?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, I lived in LA 45 years. I lived in Toronto 5 months, but I still wanted the Blue Jays to win. So, yes.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Good to see you, Michael.
It's a pleasure to have you on, Mr.
Thank
Picardo.
you.
Should I call you Bob?
Oh, yeah, everybody calls me Bob.
Everybody
Absolutely.
calls you
Call me
Bob. Does
Bob.
anybody call you Robert?
You know, I've always been Robert professionally because, you know, you have to decide on something. You change your name halfway into your career, you risk your residuals not coming in, I think is what I was told. So I stuck with Robert, but everyone calls me, all of my new castmates on Star Trek Starfleet Academy, of which they're, you know, and any three of which don't add up to my age, all call me Bob.
Now, you've done so much work. I mean, you've been working since, I guess, the 70s, right?
Yeah. Let me think. It's 50 years, Michael. In February of next year, 50 years of professional. I joined first. I was a theater actor first. I did a couple leads on Broadway in my early 20s. So I joined Actors Equity, our stage union, in February of 1976. So it's 50-year career next February.
I mean, so many amazing roles, and fans just love you. I mean, obviously, Star Trek Voyager and Stargate. I mean, you did Wonder Years. You did an episode of Taxi, for God's sakes.
Yes, I did. Mary Lou Henner has an eidetic memory or one of those crazy memories where she remembers every day of her life. She was one of the stars of Taxi, and I ran into her on social media or whatever recently, and she remembered the day I worked, the date. She remembered some of my lines. I can't imagine being cursed with a memory like that.
I would love to just be able to recite anything to remember, but with the good comes the bad. So I remember her telling me that, yes, I could remember everything, but I could also remember the bad things, the tragic things that happened like they were yesterday. And that's got to be the most difficult, like your mother passing or something like that you remember and you have those feelings. That can't be easy.
No, you just made me think I should have a conversation with her. That's really the curse. The character that I'm playing on Star Trek in the 32nd century on Starfleet Academy is the same character I played in the 24th century on Voyager. The point is my character has 800 years of digital memory. So it would be exactly like Mary Lou Henner's experience, but multiplied out across 8 centuries. So yeah, I mean, think of that, where the painful memories were as present, even if they were hundreds of years ago. It's a dilemma. I call it the curse of infinitude.
Infinitude. I'm thinking like when you did Smallville, when you did the 2 episodes, Quest is the one I guess you watched, but was your daughter a fan of Smallville?
Oh my gosh. Oh, please. Both my daughters. I have 2 grown daughters that are now 34 and 36 years old. the 34-year-old Gina and her husband just visited. Sorry, my alarm went off, reminding me that I'm supposed to talk to you.
Good.
My younger daughter Gina, now 34, just visited and left early this morning with her husband. And they both work in the business. They're both editors. Gina was obsessed with the show, especially the first 4 years that it was on, but wanted me to be on it forever. And when I finally got on it in season 7, she was a little older, but still really loved the show. But what I remember is that one of her closest friends had a nanny who was obsessed with you, Michael, an attractive nanny. This was a good-looking nanny. And she loved you so much that Gina and this other friend of hers, whose nanny it was, made up a song about you that was basically your name repeated over and over to some melody. So that is something.
I'm honored.
That I remembered, but Gina reminded me of it, that you were like her ideal. They all really loved the show, and I think were particularly into your character. First of all, you were the bad boy, of course, the famous,
Yeah.
and such an interesting and layered character. I mean, the curse of Superman is, he's a good guy, but you had the Luthor part is always, to me, more interesting. And you were great on it and had, as I said, a very layered character, in addition to being what the young girls would call a hottie.
I wish I would have thought of myself like that, but I always thought of myself kind of as a freak.
No, you were good. Listen, anyone who was a role model for my kids when they were 8, 10, 12 years old, who had a shaved head, made me seem more relevant.
That's amazing. Let me ask you this. Did you audition for it?
No. I believe he was your showrunner. Kenneth Biller, your last
Ken Biller,
year.
yes, worked on Smallville.
Ken Biller was our showrunner. He went from being a producer on Voyager, I think, either from season 1 or he joined season 2. But by our last 2 seasons, he was the showrunner, and really, really fond of Ken. And he continued to hire me on other jobs, and it may have been the first time. Smallville may have been the first time after we ended our run in 2001. Although I think he hired me on several other shows, but he offered it to me. I thought I was playing a character named Swan, but it turned out to be Teague. But I think were in the same group.
Swan was the Christopher Reeve's part in the show.
Oh
Right.
my God.
And so we couldn't bring him back, so I
interesting.
think they brought on your character.
Right. And you were the last remaining.
Yeah.
Well, then
of Veritas.
that's my delusions of grandeur. But
how long did you have to prepare for the role? Was it kind of something that happened fast?
I think it came up pretty quickly. It was, of course, in Vancouver, and I did Stargate in Vancouver, so I was used to working there. I remember during the shooting of our show, it snowed in April. I think I had about 2 weeks notice, so I had time to do some. I basically studied the references in your own prior shows rather than going back to the source material, I guess. So it was, Ken brought me up to speed, and then I just heard about, the mythology, and I knew your show. I mean, I knew all the characters because I'd watched, especially the first 4 years with my kids, and then I kind of fell out of contact with the more recent stuff. But the whole idea of the Traveler, Superman being the Traveler, when was that introduced in the actual comics? What era?
I don't think it
was kind of a new thing this season.
It was kind of a rushed thing that seemed sort of
because also this was the big writer's strike in 2008. So this was this season airing during that. So there was an extra sort of like a new storyline they added on, and it was supposed to end 4 episodes prior because they had all the pre-written scripts. But then they realized they could do 4 more. So this is one of like the 4 more after the strike had ended.
Right.
I often find that I'm in filler material.
Dude, I didn't know any of this.
I was cast on Stargate because they were making a clip show and they needed some character to tie together all the clips. So I had 12 pages of exposition the first time I appeared. So I consider myself the go-to guy for filler. I didn't know that at the time, but I mean, I'm good with exposition.
Yeah.
And I had a fair amount of exposition, as I recall, as that character. I had the interesting thing was going from acolyte and almost a worshiper of
Yep.
him, and then in the same scene turning on him. I mean,
Yes.
it's a very long scene, and you go from, oh my God, you're the greatest, I've always wanted to meet you, to now I'm going to kill you, or well, not kill you, but mark you.
Right.
I mean, am I going to take his life or simply mark him? It's not. It wasn't even clear to me in the rewatch.
Yeah, it was almost like keeping him.
But I think the great thing about your performance in it was I could believe both.
Yeah.
Like when you started as the worshiper, I believed that part, and then when you turned, I was like, oh, I still believe this guy. Like,
Yeah, I was like, wait, he just turned on him. Oh, I thought it was really fun. And I mean, what was your time working on Smallville? Do you remember anything about it? Like the crew working with Tom?
Tom was very gracious to me. First of all, I knew your exec producer, and I'm sure he told him that, so everybody was inclined to be nice to me,
Right.
whether they knew my work or not. So Tom was very nice, easy to get along with. It was great fun. I loved having the fighting scene with you because I knew my kids would get a kick out of it. And that was, I mean, literally, I'm the kind of actor who has done, I could count on, hands and toes, fingers and toes, how many times I've had a fight scene in my entire career. I usually talk my way out of trouble, but I remember on Supernatural, I did get to beat up Jared Padalecki, which was funny.
That's fun.
And in ours, you basically, I mean, you obviously get the better of me, but I'm a fairly, I give you a hard time for a few seconds.
You did.
And we had to we had real irons. They were not fake, as I recall.
Yeah.
Were they rubber? They were real.
They were real.
Yeah. And I'm a complete clod. I mean, I'm the kind of guy who's going to hit, I'm going to hit Lex Luthor in the cheek if I'm not careful. So
I'm glad you didn't tell me that while we were filming.
Of course I wouldn't. I hit it well, but it was just fun. It was fun to do it. I love always coming back to Vancouver. So I remember it being a nice experience. I remember that when Supergirl, blasts me out the window of a jet, or the jet blows up.
Yeah.
In the original script, I think I was sucked out the window, but it was cheaper, I think, just to blow up the jet digitally.
I love how they just put your face through the plane in the outside shot. There was some cool stuff. I mean, rarely does a guest star come on, and I won't say rarely, but usually they have something cool to do. But I thought you had a lot of great stuff. It was memorable. It was also the last 2 episodes of the show for me. Like, I don't know if you remember, but the next episode, the final episode where you die in the plane, is my last episode, and I left the show.
You mean the show went on for another year?
For 10 years. So 3 more years. And I came back for the series finale. But like,
wow.
I will always remember.
Just a career choice. You had enough and wanted to move on?
Yeah. I signed on for 6. I ended up going an extra year, and it was just time for me. I just felt like this storyline was done. And I just wanted to go do other stuff and kind of live my life. But it was like, I remember you because, well, I know you, but I truly remember those last 2 episodes, sort of like, this is the end for me. I'm not coming back. And I remember watching it recently because I hadn't seen it. And I was sort of blown away by the production value, and they put a lot into it. They always put a lot into Smallville. They cared a lot about the show. Did you feel that while you were on it? Just like they?
Oh yeah, I know I did, and I feel that way about Ken. Is a very prepared showrunner. He's always ahead. I've said elsewhere that my run on Voyager, when some of the other showrunners, we'd be starting a script and we only had the teaser in the first act, when we were starting to shoot. Whereas with Ken, we had the script always, done in advance, which I those of us who had to memorize, 8 pages in a day appreciated that. So my experience was, I was coming because I knew him well. I felt very at home. It wasn't like, even though I didn't know the rest of you guys in the crew, and he was not only the exec, but he was directing, I felt very comfortable there and had a really, really nice time. And in rewatching it, I had an odd thought that might interest you. With my character, on Voyager, of course, is an artificial intelligence. And when my character as a medical hologram was introduced in the 90s, we were sort of ahead of the curve. Now the whole conversation is about AI, especially in the last 4 years. But it occurred to me that that same plot where Teague is worried that the Traveler, the all-powerful being, if he is hijacked by bad forces, then he can be used against humanity, is exactly what everyone fears AI about.
Apropos.
You think of the Traveler as being artificial intelligence with a core programming designed to serve humanity, but someone can hijack the core programming and turn it against them. That's really
It's
what
a parable.
our group was obsessed with. We can't let this incredibly powerful force stop working for good. And in so doing, we have compromised our own morality, right? My character thinks he's doing the wrong thing for the right reasons, you know?
Yeah. Well, you know, that's thought provoking. I didn't even think of it like that. And
well, we wouldn't be thinking AI back when we shot it, but that's what that was just the resonance it had for me seeing it again.
yeah, it is scary. I mean, it's so scary. I'm seeing, and you got to remember, it's like when the iPhone first came out, not that we have to get into technology here, but it was like the late 90s, early 2000s. And obviously we've come pretty far with the iPhone and the iPad and all these things, but AI in like 2 years, it's become so realistic, and it's only been like a couple of years that this has been going on. So it is scary because now you're going to watch the internet. You don't know if this is real. I'm watching. I'm like, is this real? I can't decipher. So it's terrifying. But you know, what do we do?
Yeah, gang. The can't put the genie back in the bottle is becoming, you know, the catchphrase of the decade.
Do you learn lines pretty quickly?
I do still. I think I do. On the new show now, I'm remarried the last 6 or 7 years, and I married someone who has nothing to do with show business. She's a physician, my age. I've known her. You know, I married someone I dated at 18 and got married at 65. And she's a teacher in addition to being a practicing radiologist, chest and heart radiologist. She's been teaching residents for 40 years. So she's a great teacher. So she runs my lines with the utter ruthlessness that she would teach young, you know, medical students, meaning someone may die. If I get a preposition wrong, someone could die. It's the same, you know, but I keep explaining, you know, it's not really like that, but so yes, my lines are always perfect on the show because whether she's with me visiting or we're on the phone, my radiologist wife does run my lines. It was great. If you ever date a radiologist in the future, you can have this line, which I told everyone 7 years ago. I said, I'm dating a radiologist so she can see right through me, which is, you know, worthy of Henny Youngman, I think. But
Very so.
The
Very
second or
much so.
third time, my wife said, just don't say it around me anymore.
Lastly, I want to ask you this real quick. The kryptonite scene where you're pouring kryptonite around Clark Kent. Do you remember anything? Was that all CGI?
No, that's a great question because I saw it. And I'm trying to remember the technology of the day, whether I was practically pouring something or that was digitally added.
Yeah.
It looked very glowy.
I think it was digital.
My recollection was that it was an optical,
Right.
that I did really pour the stuff in, but I don't remember. I mean, it's certainly, in order to make it look that way, they had to treat it optically. The question is, was there ever a liquid at all? I do think if I were to quibble with my performance and also other people had to move that giant, it was supposed to be a concrete cap over something.
Mm-hmm.
And I did move it a little like, I'm pretending this is heavy. So I thought that was a little cheesy. But other than that, I was pleased with
Yeah. Well,
generally pleased.
So wait, so what are you doing now?
What am I doing?
What are you filming now?
There's a new Star Trek series called Starfleet Academy. It's an idea that's been kicking around the Star Trek world for 40 years. Alex Kurtzman, who is our showrunner and created Discovery, he's basically been running the franchise, did Discovery and Strange New Worlds, and also Lower Decks and Prodigy, which were the 2 animated series. He's our showrunner, a co-creator with Noga Landau, and it's my same character. I'm the only blast from the past. Holly Hunter, Academy Award winner, is our chancellor of the university and our captain when we're on a mission.
Wow.
And our first season villain is Paul Giamatti.
What?
Whoa.
Pretty cool.
That's
Yeah,
incredible.
he's playing, well, he's a big Star Trek fan, wanted to be in it. And he is sleazy, scary, hilarious, and very evil as our villain. So
Have you worked with him?
oh yeah, it was great. Yeah, we became kind of fast friends. He's a really good guy. We have a certain amount in common, went to the same college. His dad, who was the commissioner of baseball at one time, Bart Giamatti, was also a professor of history at Yale. So he comes from a very interesting background. And anyway, he's great in it. And then we got a bunch of young actors that are the future stars of the Star Trek franchise.
Where can we watch this?
Really cool. It'll premiere January 15th. We're shooting our second season. We were picked up for 2 before we ever premiered. So January 15th on, Paramount Plus, our pilot and our second episode, of which I'm all over them. And as I said, I'm the oldest thing on it. So
I love this.
Running like crazy.
I cannot wait to see it. I love that you took the time. I know it's hard to remember things. I can't remember things, and I was in 7 years of it, and it's very hard. But you're a professional. You're a gem. You're such a good guy. I appreciate your kindness, your wisdom, and being on the show. I mean, we were honored to have you. So thanks for being here today, and the fans will just love this.
Thank you, Michael, and thank you. I really, this was a lot of fun. It was an excuse to have a little trip down memory lane with my daughter this weekend when we watched the episode again, and it really was. It was a nice, father-daughter moment, and with my new son-in-law, only a year and a half, I think he learned a little about our relationship and a little about his wife, growing up with an actor father.
Well, will you do me a favor? Lastly, will you maybe send me a voice message of her singing the Michael Rosenbaum song or Lex Luthor?
Oh yeah, I'll tell her she has to do that, and I will totally do that.
All right, you're the best. Thanks for being here. Talkville is brought to you by Wayfair. If you guys want to go to a one-stop shop and get everything you could possibly need, and I know the holidays are here, Wayfair has got your back. I mean, we're talking bedding, bath basics, kids' rooms, home decor, storage for every space, kitchen essentials, living room refresh. I just bought this table, which I love to talk about because it's beautiful. And Ryan came in here and goes, wow. And this table was like $160 or something like that. It was just, and so easy to build. What I love is no matter how big your products are, they'll ship them for free, Tom. Wayfair has just what I need and just what the world needs.
Wayfair's huge selection of home items in every style makes it easy to find gifts for everyone on your list.
Yeah, there's something for every style in every home, no matter your space or budget. Wayfair makes it easy to tackle your home goals and gift lists with endless inspiration for every space and budget. Fast and easy delivery, even on the big stuff, so you can get what you need when you need it. No more huge delivery fees for furniture. Get big stuff like sofas, dining tables, my table, beds, desks, and much more shipped free. Find all your must-haves, from furniture and decor to appliances and cookware, all in one convenient place. Get last-minute hosting essentials, gifts for all your loved ones, and decor to celebrate the holidays for way less. Head to wayfair.com right now to shop all things home. That's WAYFAIR.com. Wayfair, every style, every home.
Talkville is brought to you by NHTSA.
Hey folks, let me ask you a serious question. Did you know that driving high is considered driving under the influence? That's right. Driving under the influence of marijuana is against the law in every single state. That means even in states where marijuana is legal, driving high could get you a DUI. And if you think law enforcement officers can't tell when you're driving high, well, my friend, you're wrong. If you're high, they can tell. Your friends can tell. Your coworkers can tell. Even your parents can tell. Everyone can tell. So what makes you think that law enforcement officers don't know when you're driving high? I don't know. You'd be wrong. They can tell too. Driving under the influence of marijuana can slow your response time and change how you perceive time and speed. So even if you think you're fine to drive when you're high, you're not. Because the bottom line is, if you feel different, you drive different. And driving high is driving under the influence. So remember, drive high, get a DUI. Paid for by NHTSA.
Hi.
Well, Bianca is in her car.
Yes, I just stepped out of work really quick to do this.
Where are you?
Well, I mean, I said Montreal. It's not really Montreal. It's a town called La Prairie, but yes, Montreal.
La Prairie.
Oh yeah.
La Prairie.
So
Yes.
yeah, a big
Paris.
reason Bianca wanted to come on is because this takes place in where she's from,
Montreal. Yeah, St. Christopher's, right?
Yes.
Montreal.
In Montreal. So first of all, Bianca, why Smallville? I always ask that, but I want to know what got you into it. Who'd you watch with? Why did you enjoy it?
Honestly, I am still on like a 2000 show kick. You know, like the OC, One Tree Hill, Gilmore Girls.
Mhm.
So I was like, let me try Smallville. And if I'm going to be honest, I watched like 30 minutes of the first episode and I was like, it's not for me.
Oh,
So I stopped watching. I watched something else and then I try it again because our phones, when we say one word, it shows us everything about that one thing. So my phone was full of Smallville stuff and I was like, let me give it another try. And then I was hooked. Absolutely
really?
hooked.
Did it take an episode or two, or was it at the end of the first episode?
Around the end of the first episode, honestly, for me, if a show doesn't make me cry in the first episode, it's not like, I feel like it's not gonna work. I need to like feel an emotion. So that like clip of the little girl crying, like little Lana crying when her parents
Yeah, that's like the
Die.
beginning.
waterworks.
I mean, the whole opening is like this meteor shower and all this crazy. I mean,
Mhm.
how do you turn it off after that?
Well,
I don't know. It just I wasn't.
She's not in there for the action. She's in
She's in
there
it for the
emotion.
tears.
Yeah.
No more tears. All right. So who do you watch with by yourself?
I watched it mostly by myself, and then like sometimes I would watch it. If I wasn't watching it alone, I was watching it upstairs, and my mom was around or my sister, so they kind of saw some episodes. But me and my best friend Ashley, we went to go watch the Superman movie, and then she got into it. She was like, "Let me watch Smallville." So then we kind of watched it.
Is
Together.
Tom still your favorite Superman?
Yeah.
Good.
Really?
I mean, for me, I'm not like a superhero girl, and it's funny because my whole family is a Marvel. They love Marvel,
Hmm.
and I always loved Batman, like the Christian Bale
So does
Batman.
Tom.
Shame.
So Christian Bale is my Batman, and Tom, you're my Superman.
Oh, that means a lot to me because Christian Bale is my Batman. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Who's your Lex Luthor, Bianca?
You,
Okay.
Uh,
All right.
of course.
She doesn't know who Gene Hackman is.
We're in
Nicholas
the-
Holt.
We're in the episode Quest, and
Yes.
what were your thoughts on Quest and wrapping up this season? How did you feel that Quest sort of equated in the whole season arc?
I thought it was a good episode. It's not like my favorite episode. I thought it would be cool to come on because it's in Montreal. I wanted to ask Michael or Tom, like, did they tell you why Montreal? Did they tell you why they were in Montreal?
No.
How did that come up?
No.
It
I
was
feel
just,
like they were
it was just
already-
random.
They were already in Canada, maybe like in Vancouver.
Yeah,
This was
they
just,
weren't
like,
going to
an
say
I was thinking
Vancouver
that.
because they're
and
filming
they
in
meant
Vancouver.
there's probably not like a cool church in Vancouver, but there's a lot of cool like.
No, there
oh,
is.
Is there?
Yeah, I think we filmed it in Vancouver. We didn't go to Montreal to shoot it.
It looks like the outside
Yeah.
of the church of Montreal. Is it not the outside
I
of
don't
the
think
church?
I don't think that there is a St. Christopher's Cathedral in Montreal.
I think we'd have to ask the writers because they're smart. They follow up on this stuff. I
Yeah.
think there's some version of Lana going to Paris a couple seasons ago, it being French Canadian, it being closer, it being something. I that's to me where I go with the connection, the French
Yeah.
connection.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's it. By the way, good movie. And again, Gene Hackman. You should look at
He's
him.
the best.
Twice.
The best.
Oh,
Um,
another theory is it Lex getting closer to the Arctic Circle? Is he just kind of going up? Is it a
Ooh.
north thing? That just occurred to me.
Ah,
Because Montreal's north.
Montreal is north, the Great White North, as they call it.
How far more north is it than
Then
Vancouver?
Kansas, it's pretty far
Than
north.
Vancouver. Not much.
Well,
Not
he's supposed
much.
to be in Kansas first.
It's a 23-hour
Yeah,
drive.
I know.
but,
It's-
but Smallville never took place in Vancouver.
No, I know,
Yeah.
I know. I'm just saying that they could have just said Vancouver, Canada.
I'm going to look
Yeah.
for my
Easy.
suspenders. Hold on a second.
Yeah. So, Lex getting bad, was it something that you knew was going to happen, but you didn't want him to get bad, but you understood why? What were your feelings on that?
I mean, if someone doesn't understand why Lex turned bad, there's a problem. Because there's too many things in his life that led him there, unfortunately. But I think this is a good episode to show really how bad he was getting, especially because it's your like second to last episode.
But it's very interesting the fact that like we all know where Clark ends up. We all know where Lex, but how did they get there? I think that's what this episode really speaks to. How do they get there?
I think it was a good bad Lex episode.
Yeah. What's funny is, not to get into the last episode, but like he was sort of coerced by Kara in the end, which we'll get to. But like Kara, who he thought was Kara, right? But it was fine.
Yeah.
Which we'll get into the next episode. But again, Lex thinks like, okay, she's a fellow Kryptonian and she's telling him to do this because he could be, bad. So, I mean, Lex makes a choice. It's all about choices, right? And
it's also a choice based on trust, which Lex always had an issue with. And here he goes, trusting somebody, and look what happens.
Yeah, and look what happens.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I definitely, there was a lot to unpack for this episode. And I was like, I text Ryan while I was watching. I was like, man, there's a lot. I don't know what the hell's going on. He goes, you'll figure it out. That's what he texted me back.
We got an
last
episode
night.
to film, so.
Do you believe that everything they set up in this episode, do you sort of buy into it, or do you think it was sort of like added in too late?
I think the setup was good. The only thing that I didn't really, I mean, I feel like they got to Montreal super quick. Clark, I understand, but like Lex and Chloe showing up at the end, I was like, she got there pretty quick.
Yeah.
And like all the answers for Lex, like, were right in front of him the entire time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's funny how the answers were right literally under his nose.
Yeah.
So, but in a way that's kind of cool. It's like saying all the things you look at every day, all the things that those are the things you don't suspect. And so the answer a lot of times in life is right in front of you.
Yeah.
So it's kind of profound, and I mean, it was sort of spoon fed, but it was is what it was.
Or not, but yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I think but I also think as an audience member, between this episode and the next episode, I do think you needed all these beats for Lex. I think you needed them all. Like, I really do. Like, looking back, like
it's a good build-up.
It is a good build-up.
Otherwise, he just shows up with that orb in the next episode, and you're like, what?
The orb in the barn.
Yeah.
What would you say the most memorable thing of Talkville has been for you?
Of Talkville, oh my gosh. I am like behind
you can say Ryan, it's okay.
Yeah.
I didn't say favorite part of it,
course.
but most memorable, something that was said, something that something that was funny, something profound, some inside scoop, whatever it was.
Yeah, I'm like a really big like behind the scenes nut. I love the stories. I love to know how things were filmed. Like, that's why I love those 2000 shows, is the look of it. Like, when you get the directors and the writers and even the makeup artist, Natalie, like, I love to know all like the behind the scenes stuff. That's like the most fun part about me, about watching new shows. Like, when I watch a new show, I'm like looking up the IMDb's, I'm looking up who's in the episode, the guest stars, the this, the that. I love that. So I love all the stories, even though you got Tom, you don't remember a lot of stuff.
I know, it's crazy.
Listen, I take what I can get and I run with it. So
The things I do remember, I feel like I'm very passionate about, but yeah, it was just,
it's a blur, the red blue blur.
it's a Tom Blur. Yeah.
Tom Blur. All right, Bianca, you're amazing. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being a patron and supporting the podcast.
Tell your boss, thank you for letting you out.
yes.
All right, thanks, Bianca.
No problem. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
This segment is brought to you by NHTSA.
Did you know that driving under the influence of marijuana is illegal? And if you drive while high, law enforcement can definitely tell. If you feel different, you drive different. Drive high, get a DUI. Paid for by NHTSA. All right, this is from our first patron privilege on the hotline. Is no other than Heather and Greg. Greg, We love them. And here we go with their question. Love the hat. Great.
Hi guys, this question is for the season 7 episode Quest.
So during the episode, we see Lex cruising on his private jet, popping a few pills. Would those happen to be Imodiums? Thanks a lot, guys. We will see you on the cruise.
All right, now that's funny, and why it's funny is because on the last cruise, I had a stomach issue, and Heather gave me an Imodium. So there you go.
That's where it comes from.
That's where it comes from. Tom Turner.
They got a real kick out of that one.
Oh, I love them. Very, very good. Very, very good. And this is Tom Turner.
Hey, this is Tom Turner with a question for the season 7 episode Quest. What was Robert Picardo like to work with? Thanks.
Incredible. I love him. In fact, I saw him at a recent con. He just was so sweet. He goes, I don't know if you remember me, but I'm Robert Picardo, and we worked together. I go, of course I remember. And he was just delightful, and we keep in touch. And yeah, so.
I remember being on the altar when he had to do all that stuff. And he had so many things he had to do at a certain time based on the cameras.
Such a pro.
And I couldn't, a lot of times, and Mike, you and I talk about this as being a scene partner, and I couldn't help. I couldn't do anything. You know what I mean? Like there's somebody to work off of. And when it's just straight props based on camera movements and beats, you're out there, you're Han Solo out there. You
You're
gotta
solo.
do your own thing. And
Yeah.
I just remember feeling so unhelpful, but at the same time, there's nothing I could do.
That's interesting. But he's a professional. He knew what he was doing.
He knew what he was doing,
Hey guys,
for sure.
this is Vera, your patron from Minnesota, and I'm
Vera.
calling in about season 7, episode 19 Quest. Even after 10 or 11 times through the entire series at this point, this for me is one of the most thrilling and anxiety-filled episodes in the series. And I'd love to hear from Tom and Rosie, what was the moment during filming that felt the most intense or challenging for you guys in this episode? Love you guys, love the podcast. Keep it up.
For me, I would just say that I knew I just had one episode left, so I gave it my all, of course. And I was anxious, I think, as well, because, oh my gosh, this is the end. And, stay with it. Everything you do is filmed and it's forever. So make sure your performance is strong. Make sure you know your shit inside out. And it's hard not to think of other things that are happening that are outside, like other than Smallville. So you're thinking of a lot of other things in real life, but you gotta focus for big episodes like this. And it was another day at work, but everything felt heightened, as I recall.
Well, especially with the subject matter that you were dealing with. I mean, it's literally coming to an end.
Yeah.
For your or a new beginning.
Yep.
For your character. But who knows where it goes after this. There's a couple things that happen when you're at the end of the season. Everybody wakes up again a little bit. The episodes mean more. Every moment means more. And so everyone's more excited. The crew's already looking for other jobs.
And they're exhausted too at the same time.
Yeah. It's like this, it's excited exhaustion.
Yeah.
Which can lead to some happy mistakes and some beautiful creativity because no one's in control in a sense.
All right. This is Trisha from New Jersey.
Hi, this is Trisha from New Jersey. This is my question regarding season 7, episode 19, Quest. Did anybody else find it so strange that Mr. Teague had all that liquid kryptonite ready to go? Like, one thing to have the rocks, but another thing entirely to have all that liquid kryptonite refined.
Yeah, I think he just knew that was an alternative, that he might have to do this, and he kept it with him.
Do we think that liquid kryptonite was already in the altar that Clark was placed upon, or did he pull it in 5-gallon buckets and fill it up?
Didn't he pour it trickled in around him
I think he poured
so it was
it
ready
in.
to go.
He had it in a bucket.
He just had a bucket of liquid kryptonite.
Here's Jackie. Hey, Jackie.
Hi, this is Jackie Justice. I'm calling about the episode Quest. For me, the show jumped the shark when 10 seconds after they confirm security will be increased for Lux, he's splashed in the chest by a knife-wielding being. Do you think there was a more seamless way to show the Kryptonian insignia? For example, by graffitiing the Lex Luthor mansion? Or maybe Lex should have been attacked when he was at the bank in Zurich? Interested to hear your thoughts.
Thanks. I understand that. I thought it was a little bit like everybody leaves and then he gets the carvings. like where's the security? It was I put my suspenders on for that because I was like, what the hell? That's happening there. But this guy is overpowering, and he, I don't know. But I understand what you're saying.
That's
But
kind of the other thing that we talked about, where the chest carvings kind of escalated a little bit, as opposed to But that's why I posed the question, because
yeah,
there are different schools of thought on it.
yeah. I mean, I let it go.
Hey, it's your boy King Size Matt from Northeast Ohio. The question about season 7, episode 19, Quest. Are you guys buying this Veritas rubbish? To me, it just seems like the writers ran out of good ideas and decided to rewrite the entire show. Maybe that's just me.
Well, you're not wrong. It felt rushed, and some things don't always land, but I think the payoff ultimately was a good quality 2 episodes, even though there was a lot of bullshit in between with the setup. So I really love this ending, these last 2 episodes, but I thought it was kind of a lot of just crap, the Veritas story. I was like, how is this going to unravel? And I don't understand, and I don't care. But then I wish they could have made it come together more interestingly before the last 2 episodes. But, I think ultimately it paid off, I think.
I mean, I don't have any better ideas. It's a story engine that results in what happens with Clark and Lex in the next episode.
Yeah.
I thought it was effective. I mean,
yeah, it was.
What else were you going to do? Just have Clark and Lex in the Kent kitchen talking to each other for 2 episodes?
I agree.
Working shit out?
That's a good point. So
like-
King Size Matt, lower your voice. No, I'm kidding. Here's Andrew from Phoenix, Arizona.
Hey guys, it's Andrew from Phoenix, Arizona, and my question is for season 7, episode 19, Quest. I just thought it was really ridiculous that has no one actually looked around that church before, and no one questioned any of the symbols anywhere throughout all of time.
You're going to have all the people from Montreal who visit that church.
No, yeah.
I think most people going to church don't notice every little thing, and if they see something, they probably don't know what the hell it is, and they're like, I assume it's church-like. Most people don't care, but they were around that big bowl or whatever and underneath, but
do they get sold on the fact that it's from I don't know, the symbols or something they don't understand from Jesus's era?
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Hold on, wait a minute. I'm looking it up. What's that Tom Hanks movie where he
it's the book, the
Da Vinci Code.
Da Vinci Code? Oh yeah.
Da Vinci Code.
There you go. Da Vinci Code's all about that. How do you go into these places and see things that are hidden in plain sight?
It was huge at the time. So I mean that's
I
love those movies and books.
Rosenbaum rating
Rosenbaum
system.
rating.
Ryan.
Oh no.
It's almost like you want to rank half the storyline and then rank the other half the storyline.
Do I want to go full 2? I'll go full. 1.5. 1.5.
If I would have watched this and didn't watch the last one, I would have probably given a rose and a half, but it's close. It's a rose and a half or 2. I'm going to give it 2 just because it really escalated and there was a lot of action, and I thought there was a lot to it that was building up for this climax, and it all paid off, and they needed to tell the story, and it's either a rose and a half or 2. What do you give it, Tom?
So I gotta be honest. I watched the other episode first by accident. And then I realized I went for the next episode and realized I'd skipped one. So I watched this one. So I already knew what I was watching. And so
that's not
dumbed
fair.
it down a little bit for me. And I think a lot of the next episode, so I'm going to give this a 1.5.
Yeah, I give it. Yeah.
If it doesn't stand
alone, I'm going to give it 1.5 because it doesn't alone. It's not as good as it was.
Alone, it's confusing as shit.
It is.
There's a lot of new information.
I'm going to go 1.5.
Because the whole
I think that's
the
the way to
watchmaker
go.
story. Yeah, it's like
death and save count. How many people saved? How many died? 3 dead. Assassin killed Lexus security guards in Melash. Poor Melash. 2 saved. Chloe saved Clark from Teague. Clark saved Teague from Lex through 19 episodes. 25 dead. 45 saved. Series 243 dead. 274 saved. And now it's time for the second to last Ryan's favorite season of season 7.
Can you imagine if Jensen had come back as that Teague character?
Really funny.
Yeah. It's amazing how
that would have been jumping the shark.
All right. Scene 1, Lex and the clock.
Lex and the clock.
Lex and the clock. Scene 2 is when Clark it does the slow-mo thing.
Slow-mo?
He saves
saves the day.
He saves
okay.
Teague and punches the clock, literally. And then scene 3 where Lex is in the manor and puts it all together with the orb.
Ooh. Tom? I'm going to go with 1. Yeah, you are too?
Damn it!
1, the clock.
Yeah, the clock.
Is it?
Yeah.
The clock was so cool.
I had my finger out off camera. I was already choosing that one.
I said it before you did.
I know you did. I was waiting.
Yeah, again, like
Couldn't
that's
lie.
like I feel like they're picking one scene per episode to throw most of the budget at, and that felt like it again.
Yeah, the next
They
one.
took their time with it.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like click, click, 4 shots, done. It breathed. It was really great.
That's it for the episode. Stick around next week as we wrap it all up and talk about episode 20, Arctic. I have one problem with the next episode, but I'll reveal that next week. Let's take the discussion online. Let us know your thoughts on the episode over on our socials at Talkville Podcast or Talkville Pod. Please join Patreon, patreon.com/Talkville to support our podcast and maybe keep it going. We will see. If you want more information like merch from the show or a
Not much time left.
Not much time left. You can find all that in the show's description. Thank you, Bianka, for our lovable patron who was on today. And you got nothing else to do, so go check out Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum. Remember, folks, we love you. And Bianca, why don't you take over?
Remember, folks, always hold on to Smallville.
We'll see you next week. See you, fellas. And we can't forget our patrons. Patreon.com/Talkville. You guys keep the show going, and we appreciate it. Right now, we're going to read those top patrons. The Miss Leanne, Raj C, Santiago M, Thomas Tom Turner, Shane W, Betsy D, Abby P, Karen Apple M, 99 More, Leilani N, Brett G, always hold on to Smallville, Garrett W, Bob K, Tom N, Jason W, Lana rhymes with Banana W, which Tom always messes up, Nancy D, Brian G, Grape Jelly 817, Amanda R, Teddy 127, Michael P, Ryan R, Randy B, Craig G, Heather and Greg, Grether, I made Talkville say butts, Clark's mom,
Kristen B, Finky, damn, who's that? Jeanette E, General Zod, Doug R, Shenna I, Kendall Limerick Guy, Corey L, Mr. Home Arcade, Claire M, D Brown, Jules M, Eldon Supremo, I tried, Brian P, Mick Burtz, Ginger Moose, Christoph S, Michael Kyne doesn't blank, Sebastian F, Wolfie and Little Wolfie, Matthew and Lincoln B, Mary Lou L, Matt Maverick, Randy S, Cassie B, Danny Mo Mirabel.
Mary K, Sophie L, When You're Rich, You Aren't Crazy or Eccentric, Derek R at House of L, The Alexander Castle, Daryl E, Jenny B76, Monica T, Ms. M, Emily Who Locked, Jeffrey K, previously on Smallville, Keith B, Cookie K, Ivan G, Danny Z from Cleveland, Biagio C, Madison H, As Told by Helen, Dr. J, Kurt F, Clois 28, Dr. G, Dr. T,
Flirtatious B, Eduardo and Nancy Per 6, Name an L, Nominell, we'll never know. Smallville for Life, Bobby B, Kendrick F, Stacy Beth L, Other Brother Daryl, Melanie P, Charlie M, Cheyenne F, AJ S, Heather H, Tom and Michael's friend Mikey, Siren H,
Mickey,
Hubs,
Tom, Mickey,
Mikey, you know, Tom and Michael's friend Mickey. Such good friends. Siren H, Hubs, Jackie Justice, John Cruiseville, 26, love it, W, Bradley H, Nick H, Dan L, David A, Sierra, and Steffmeister.
Kyle Ann, Bianca S, JD Rocks, Rebecca P, Jacob G, Ramina N, or Ramina. Ramina sounds nice. I'm going to say Ramina N. Coco Beach Kidneys, Anna HM, Danny R, Lex and Sid, Adriana G, The Blue Kiwi, Asia K. That's my phone. It's my dermatologist. Listen. Danny R, Lex and Sid, Adriana G, The Blue Kiwi, Asia's K, Marky Keds, The Broken Hero J, Brooklyn, Omar H, Annette C.
I thought that was a song from that
It's
DiCaprio
Taxi.
movie.
It's from Taxi. All right. We love you. Thank you for being here. We'll see you next week.